Well, good morning. I'm just got my garage cleaned up. It was a really big mess again, like always, but basically got all of this stuff from Honda to go in. All these bolts everywhere, oil pan gasket, oil pump, water pump. So my rotating assembly, as it's been sitting for weeks now. Shout out to HunterTuned for the encouragement during his video that, you know, we can still get this stuff done even though we have anxiety and depression and crap like that. But yeah, so I'm gonna clean it up and get the oil pump on, and then start finishing the bottom end, and hopefully by the end of today the head will be on. That would be awesome. So I'm trying to make progress here to, I think I have almost everything needed to get the engine in the car. Not really sure if I'm short any other parts, but I'll find out as I'm going along. So thanks, guys. 81mm rods and pistons, Arias Pistons with Eagle rods, LS stroke, and then also have a LSD transmission to go into it. So I got the mating surface here all cleaned up for the oil pump. Water pump one I probably got to work on a little bit more. I don't know, just like not coming clean compared to the oil pump. But then, so here's the oil pump, and gonna put a coat of Honda Bond on it. Stop my video because I was trying to focus it. Anyways, yeah, so put a coat of Honda Bond on it, and then get to putting the windage tray, oil pickup on it. And then on the other side, I have a, I got the cap with a new gasket there too, or seal I should say. I guess this isn't a gasket, oil seal. So yeah, so the only thing that I'm kind of griping about right now is I bought this Downstar hardware kit, and it's really good, and like there's a ton of bolts, but it's really hard to determine what's what because they're not like labeled in the package. They just give you this like cut sheet, which is cool, so you can tell by quantities, but I don't know, there's a couple that have the same quantities, so it's kind of hard to tell which one's which. It says like number 9, but I don't know if that was number 9. Maybe it was. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, that was number 9. Never mind. I'm an idiot. Disregard. Anyways. Yeah, so I'll pick back up once I get that oil pump on there. Alright, so I got the main on. That was a little bit of work to get that old seal out of there. It was super dried up in there. Oil pump, water pump, the Downstar hardware, if it will focus on that. Probably not. I'll focus it myself. Maybe not. That's really annoying. Focus on that. I don't know why I won't focus on that. Anyways, you get the point. There's Downstar hardware on there, so they're nice Allens. So now I'm going through the tedious process of removing all of these studs. So the My Honda Habit oil pan gasket comes with new studs, and their studs actually look to be a little bit better quality, so I'm gonna use their studs instead. But that requires going around and taking out all of the stock studs that are still in there, so that's very tedious for maybe younger people that don't know, or if you're not really into mechanics. But okay, so to get a stud out of there, what you want to do is you take 2 nuts, so you put 1 nut on there backwards like so, and then you put the other nut on top of it, and then you grab your ratchet and a wrench. So what you want to do is take your wrench, sorry about that, so take the wrench and then tighten the nuts together so that they're tight. So now that the nut's tight, now when you reverse this, and you just use the wrench, it will pull the stud out. So that's how you, oops, sorry, I didn't know I was pointing at the floor, I'm not trying to look at what I'm doing. So then you can basically remove the stud with the wrench, and then once you get it backed out enough, it just comes out. Oh, or not. Take two. So what I was saying before the video kind of cut out, but if you're taking off a stud and you don't know how, what you do is you take two nuts and basically put one on backwards and then the other one on it, and then what you want to do is tighten. You want to tighten the nut down to the other nut. So I don't have enough room to get the wrench in there. So basically you take your wrench and so you tighten it, and then when you back it out, you will actually remove the here I gotta tighten it more. But you'll back out the stud instead of the nuts. There we go. So now if I take this out, the whole stud's going to come out with the nuts instead of just the nuts coming off the stud. So that's, if you don't really, not really into mechanics or never knew how to get studs out, I guess is a little description of how to do it. The first stud I had to take out was on an exhaust manifold that was like totally seized, and that didn't work for crap. Ended up breaking the stud, and then you got to drill and tap it out. So that's always fun. But on easy studs like this one, that's nice and clean. It's the easiest way to do it. But as you can see, it's super tedious. So having to do that for pressure kicked on, but got to do that for these. I don't know. I got 5 left, but I've had 4 or 5, so there's 9 of them that are in the stock GSR block, so it's pretty tedious job, but we'll get her done and then get that oil pan gasket and oil pan on there. But once they get loose, you can just unscrew them. So there you go, stud out. Alright, so there it is with all the studs out of it now. So now I'm going to go back around and clean all of the mating surface there to get ready for the oil pan gasket, and then it should be ready to get the oil pan on it finally. Okay, so there it is with all the studs on it. I just used a ratchet with a Torx to start, but then just to get the main threads down, but then I used just a Allen, because these don't have to be super tight. You just want to kind of tighten these to they're snug so that they don't spin on you when you're trying to torque the nuts on. And then per the Honda Habit page, it looks like it's factory torque specs and Honda bond at the seams. So basically where the main cap is, or the main seal cap, I guess, I don't know what the hell this is called, but put some RTV or Honda bond there, and then at the oil pump. So basically just where these mating surfaces are, but you can see I got the surface really nice and clean. Brake cleaner works really good. So yeah, so I'm gonna get the oil pan on. So I got a Moroso baffled pan, just in case if I do any road racing or anything. Don't want the oil to splash all over. So but yeah, so that's where I'm at. So I'll take a quick little snippet again once I'm through the oil pan installation. Actually, I set the camera up on the tripod, so I'm going to actually install the oil pan and record it, which is different for me. I normally just take little snippets, but I will show you something I'm doing, right? A little dab of Honda bond at the corners, like I just said previously. Pretty much over the seams from where the metal meets is where you want the Honda bond to make sure that seals up so you don't get an oil leak there. And then my Honda Habit says to use the factory Panda engine, 104 inch-pounds. 104 inch-pounds. These are not very tight, so the book says 104 inch-pounds, so that's pretty, like, not a lot of torque at all, actually. 16, number 16. 16 of 19. Alright, so my video cut off, but here I am torquing the last two, so this one actually, I can't fit that socket in there, so I'm going to try to use a different socket, see if it's a little bit thinner. Yep. There we go. Number 19 here, so 19 bolts for the GSR oil pan. And there we have it. So we have a bottom end all kind of finished up. So we got oil pan, water pump. So up next here will be the head studs and the head gasket. It's getting heavy now. Oh. Actually, I should probably put the water tube on. So actually next will be the water tube. Got to put the water tube on, I think, before I could probably actually do the head and then put the water tube on. Doesn't really matter. This surface looks really good already, so I'll probably just wipe down with brake clean. Doesn't look like there's any residue. My block was, I didn't take it to a machine shop, but the guy I purchased it from, it was fresh from the machine shop. So, and actually my head was too. So once I get the stuff out for that, I will start recording again. Thanks. Alright, so I got my head out of the box and everything, and the studs installed, so I'm just gonna throw the head gasket on there and then start torquing for the head studs. Alright, so head slid on. Gonna take the ARP washers and nuts and get them on there with the ARP assembly lube. There we go. Two of the washers didn't go on as nice as the other ones, but whatevs, right? Alright, so before I torqued it down, I realized that I didn't have the dowel pins in, so I actually just ordered them. I was actually missing the other dowel too for the VTech, so I was missing that one there. That will focus in on that, not really. So yeah, so I was missing that one, but then I'm missing the ones for the block too, so I don't know if they're really needed or not, but it doesn't look like they would have oil pressure, but I don't know. They were there for a reason, so I should probably have them. So yeah, so I'm gonna wrap it up. I just ordered them, so hopefully they'll be here soon, and then I can finish the assembly and get to putting the intake manifold on and mocking up the turbo kit. Thanks for watching.